Joining us this morning, it's CEO and Chairman Marivic Espano, together with Peter Bodin, newly minted CEO of Professional Services Network Grant Thornton International. Of course, PNA is the Philippine member of the global network Grant Thornton. Thank you for joining us, Marivic and Peter. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle.
So, Marivic, let's start with the tax reform law. The first package, of course, already took effect in January. How's compliance on the ground so far? What are the initial challenges that you're seeing? What are your clients telling you?
Okay, well, the passage of the tax reform is actually causing quite a stir when it comes to the implementation of the new provisions of the law. And therefore, companies are really studying it and listening and awaiting for rules coming out from BIR as to the actual implementation of the new provisions. They are also analyzing how these new laws would affect their customers, the services that they provide, the products that they sell, and adjusting accordingly.
Are you confident, Marivic, that we will be able to implement, or companies will be able to comply very well and with ease with the new tax reform law within the year?
I believe that most companies are really supportive of the tax reform, and they would like to hear clear policy guidelines coming from the Department of Finance and the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Based on what we've heard from our clients, they are coordinating directly with the BIR, and they are also asking for advice from us as to how they could make the necessary changes in their own operations.
Can you give us very quickly, Marivic, just one example of what sort of clarifications your clients are asking for?
Okay, let me cite a simple example. For instance, with respect to the withholding tax, filing of withholding tax returns, I believe the new law requires that the filing would be done on a quarterly basis. But in the past, the monthly return was filed within X number of days. So the clients, the companies are expecting that with these new rules, they would not need to file the monthly returns anymore. But last week, BIR clarified that the monthly returns still have to be filed, and then the quarterly return, based on the law, would still have to be filed.
Okay, Peter, you've been quoted as saying that corporate tax tops the agenda of most foreign companies' boards. We're seeing corporate tax cuts in the U.S. and the Philippines. How important do you think is this in attracting foreign investors?
Of course, low tax is important for companies, but I think even more important today is that we see strong growth coming from all over the world. We see GDP growth, and when we look into what companies expect for the future, we see that they are very optimistic about growth for the next year. We see that coming out from all over the world, and especially here in Asia and here in Philippines. So I think that is a much stronger driver for growth and optimism than lower taxes.
But Peter, what do you think, what are you hearing from your clients are the biggest risks that they're seeing? I know they're optimistic, but there must be some things that are keeping them up at night.
Yes, of course. Wherever I go in the world, I see that companies and industries are going through a lot of change and disruption. And the strongest driver behind that is technology. But all the clients or companies I meet today, they see that as an opportunity instead of a risk. And they do a lot about that, and because they can now go international and global much faster than in the history, and they invest in the technology side, but they also invest in their people, invest in training and in leadership development, and that is also a very important part of. So businesses tend to see things on a more optimistic side than the risk side.
Marivic, from the local perspective, how do you see business sentiment, the business landscape changing here in the Philippines?
I think companies are really becoming more aware that there are opportunities, not just in the Philippines, but in the region and globally as well. And they've started to